Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by Invicta FC Strawweight Tecia Torres. Tecia, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on your show.
Sure, no problem. Thanks for doing it. Tecia, you got a fight coming up at Invicta FC 6 on July 13th. How's training been going for the fight?
Training's been the best ever. This is my first training camp where I had a full 2 months of full-time training. Prior to this, I was full-time working, so I'm really excited to showcase my skills. How they've gotten better over the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Now, you decided to leave your job and train full-time. Usually we don't see fighters start doing the full-time training until they get, maybe 5 or 6 pro fights in. This will be your 3rd pro fight. Why did you decide that right now is the best time for you to try to pursue this full-time?
Because the fight against Rose I see being, I know it's a pretty big fight for myself, and I know that she's over there training full-time, so I was able to take 2 months off of work. I might be returning to work.
I see.
But for the fight, I was able to take 2 months off, so I took advantage of it, and hopefully it'll play off and be for the better from the 13th.
Mm-hmm. Was today the last day of hard training?
Today, well, no, actually last Tuesday, this past Tuesday was the last day of hard training. Today was an easier day. Tomorrow, more like tomorrow, because tomorrow we spar again, but it's light striking, but it'll be the hardest I'll go, I guess, for the rest of the week. Tomorrow morning, and then the rest of the week will be a lot of drills and cardio.
I see. Now, what does your routine look like from now leading up to the fight? What will you do next week, and what will you do when you reach the city that the fight's taking place in? Could you talk us through what you do leading up to a fight?
Well, right now, today is when I started eating healthier, because if anybody knows me or has listened to any of my interviews, eating is my weakest problem. But yeah, so today I started eating better. And I'll leave on Wednesday to Kansas, so up until then I'll just, do drills and running. That's how I lose my weight. I run. So I run like 2 or 3 miles a day, which is not much, but that's all I need to do to get in, get the weight off. But when I get there on Wednesday, I'll arrive at midday and I'll relax, and then Thursday we have our interviews and photo shoot and stuff, and then I'll just be cutting weight. But nothing really. I don't have a set thing or anything. I just, go through my days normally, and I like to have fun. I don't really get too serious and, shut off the world or anything like that.
Now, you mentioned your diet. You don't really have the traditional diet that most of the other MMA fighters have. You're not on that strict diet. You kind of just really basically eat whatever you want to eat. Why do you decide to change flip the script? Why did you decide to go healthy the week of the fight? And why this diet? Why not be a healthy eater all the time around? Why wait until the week of the fight?
Honestly, it's because I just like food. So I don't like to deprive myself of anything. We only live once, so I eat whatever I want. But I'm at the gym every day, so my body still looks nice. But I'm just taking advantage, I guess, of being young. But the fight week, I like to eat healthy just because I need to, shed some pounds, and I like to feel good when I go in the fight. When I'm obviously eating unhealthy, I feel the difference, when I'm eating clean. So just when I changed up the week of the fight, but when I go in there, I'm feeling really good. My muscles feel good, so I do it. Some people might not like eating bad, but it works for me. Switching up the last week, so I don't know.
Just curious, how much weight do you have to cut to make 115?
This time I'll do 10 pounds. Normally it's about maybe between 6 and 8, but for this camp, since I had the 2 months, like I said, full time, I had more time to do strength and conditioning. So since I was doing strength and conditioning, my weight was up. So I've been walking at 125. So I'm 125 right now. So when I go to Invicta, I plan on being 121. That's when I'll normally show up at 121, 122, which is 3 days out, and the morning of the fight, I'll normally be a pound up. So, it's really easy being even at the 125, the 10 pounds is not bad at all.
With you not having the traditional diet that everyone else in the sport seems to have, what is something that you would eat after you weigh in? What is something that you'll eat, when you do the rehydration process?
If if I'm being good, sometimes I'm good, and sometimes I go right to being bad again. If I'm being good, which is my good, will be like spaghetti and meatballs or just spaghetti and meat sauce, and then by the end of the night I'll eat again like pizza or something. But normally, I'll have ribs and French fries and ice cream.
Are you a pop drinker or a soda drinker?
No, that's one thing I don't do. I don't like soda at all. Water pretty much all the time. If not, like lemonade or iced tea.
Yeah, because King Mo got a little bit of heat because for his last fight he rehydrated with a Mountain Dew. So I was just checking to see what you were doing.
No, definitely not. No, I'll be like after I weigh in, I have I like Gatorade, and I don't like Pedialyte, but I know it's good for you, so I put half Gatorade, half Pedialyte, like right after, and I'll have fruits right there. But that's like right when I eat. Then I go to a restaurant or whatever. But, yeah.
I see. Now, you're going to be taking on Rose Namajunas on July 13th. What are your thoughts about her as an opponent?
I think she's really talented, and it's going to be my toughest opponent. I think it's going to be an exciting fight. We both possess really good qualities, I guess, all around, I think she's a good stand-up fighter and a really good jiu-jitsu game, so I think she'll, pull out the best of me.
Obviously, this is a fight that you wanted because you signed on the dotted line to take this fight, but there's some fans out there, some media people who are kind of disappointed, not that this fight is happening, but just at the timing of this fight, because you both are so young, just two professional fights apiece into this thing. Are you kind of happy that it's happening sooner rather than later, or would it, have not have mattered to you if this would have happened, 3 or 4 fights down the road? Are you happy that it's happening now?
Yeah, I'm happy that it's happening now, to get it over with, that this is a fight that's going to test us both to see where we're both at the division. I wouldn't have wanted them to give me anybody, I don't want to say, less than me, but I wouldn't want them to give me anybody with a losing record or something like that. I like challenges, and I think she's a good challenge. A win versus her will just put me, closer and closer and itching towards, like, a top 10 spot, which is where I want to be, so I'm cool with the fight happening now.
Now, some fighters say that when they take a fight, they usually look for fights that'll test them and fights that they don't necessarily think they can win, but fights that will test them to see where they are. Did you take this fight because you think that this is a fight you can win, or did you take this fight for being that reason of you don't know, we'll just find out July 13th?
No, I would never take a fight not thinking that it's a test for, like, when I say test for me, I think it's a test for both of us to see where we stand in the division. I wouldn't take a fight thinking I was, maybe going to lose. No, I more than 100% am confident that I have the skills to beat Rose. So, yeah, I took the fight knowing that, I'm ready for her, I wouldn't take the fight with anybody without 100% certainty being ready. So I'm ready for her, but I think she will be my toughest opponent, and I'm positive that I'll be her toughest one as well.
Where do you feel that you have the advantage in this fight?
I think standing up, I'll have the advantage.
Now, you just touched on it. You're confident this is a fight that you took because you think that you can win. But what are some problems, or what are some things that when you're fighting her, you have to be cautious of and aware of? The first thing would obviously be her height. She's very lengthy. She has long legs, long arms. So, but I've fought tall girls before and were able to do my work. So just her height, and then her jiu-jitsu. She showcased that she has really good jiu-jitsu. So if the fight does go to the ground, I'll probably try to keep it standing. But I'm confident in my jiu-jitsu as well. But if there was one thing I would say, it would be her jiu-jitsu and her length. That's interesting that you say her length, because basically in every fight that you've had, you've always been, you've been the shorter fighter in there. Just curious why it hasn't been a problem in the past. Why is that, kind of something that you need to be aware of?
Again, it comes to her jiu-jitsu. With her length, she has really long legs that, it's mainly her jiu-jitsu, but I'm just saying her length. So
I see.
She can easily body triangle me or, try to get me in an arm bar or triangle or something like that really quick. So, not necessarily, if I had to choose something, it would be her length and jiu-jitsu. I'm just choosing it. But yeah, I fought tall guys all the time. Everybody's taller than me at 5'1". But if I just had to pick something, I'm saying.
Now, she likes to really start fast and really get, smother opponents early. How important is that to not let that happen when the bell does ring and the fight starts, to kind of not get into her game and not allow her to fight her fight?
That's going to be pretty important, yeah. She does like to start off really quick and, run to the center of the cage. So I guess it would be my job to negate that and to either gain ring control or just step off and, throw her off her game. Yeah, she definitely likes to start fast.
Now, if you could step back and sort of get inside the minds of her coaches, what do you think her camp is telling her to do against you in this fight?
Maybe they're telling her to start striking with me, and if she's feeling confident, to keep it standing, since she hasn't been able to showcase any standing really yet. And on the other hand, maybe they're saying, if you're feeling like she's getting the better of you, take her down and try to submit her. That's the only thing I could see logical happening.
Now, you said that this is the best opponent that you've faced to date, and this is a very big fight for you. Just curious, what are you feeling like right now as we're basically a week out from the fight? Are you feeling nervous, excited? Are you feeling, more excited for this one because it's a bigger fight? Are you feeling more nerves? What exactly are you feeling as we're, a week out?
Not nervous at all, just excited and ready for the fight. I feel like I'm at my best right now. I've never had a chance, like I said, to train full time. So I finally feel like I had a full camp. And I'm really excited for this fight because, we're bumped up to the main card. And we'll be, setting the tone of the pace on the TV portion. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity, and, I think it's going to be a fun, awesome fight. Whatever happens, happens. But I'm going to go in there and, give it my all.
Now, this is a big fight, but it's not a number one contender fight. I know there's a lot of people out there who are trying to push a title shot on whoever gets this fight. There's Invicta hasn't said anything, but there's fans and media who are going to ask you and Rose, whoever wins this fight, 1,000 questions about a title. But it's a big fight, but it's not a number one contender fight or anything like that. But what's at stake here in this fight for you?
I was surprised to just be more or less recognition, and then I think the next fight, if Rose wins or I win, I think Invicta would put us with potentially, somebody in the top 10, maybe on the number 9 spot or the 10 spot, just, inching closer and closer to the title. I don't think that, I definitely know that it wouldn't put us in title contention, and that's in the back of my mind, but down the line, me and Rose are both young. She's 21, I'm 23, so we have more than enough time to, make our way up there. But, I think it's just going to get us recognition, and then potentially, a top 10 opponent in their next fight.
Now, have you ever fought somebody who you can compare Rose to? Because you have a lot more amateur experience than I think a lot of people know. I think combined with some stand-up fights, you have like 27 amateur fights. This is going to be your 30th total fight with your pro and amateur experience altogether. Maybe your 31st fight, I'm not sure. But has there been anybody that you've fought in the past that you can kind of compare Rose to?
Yeah, I've had a lot of fights. You're right, it's 31 because I had one pro Muay Thai fight.
Right.
But Rose, I don't know. I don't think anybody has. She's really unorthodox, She throws some crazy stuff. As everybody saw with her awesome flying armbar. But maybe stand-up wise, I fought Ashley Greenway. She was, tall and skinny like Rose, same body type. So I'll put her in the same category as body type, because when I went to the ground with Ashley did some some weird stuff with her legs because she was super tall. I mounted her and she was able to flexible. Her legs went around my back and she pulled me off of her or something. Maybe her that way. Jiu-jitsu wise, or talent wise, in stand up I fought really good girls. So I think I fought better people in stand up than Rose. But jiu-jitsu, I think she's probably. Yeah, I think she'll be the best person I fought in jiu-jitsu, MMA-wise. In competition, I fought good girls, but MMA-wise, I don't think any of the girls had jiu-jitsu like she has.
Now, with Rose being such a fast starter and you being so good moving backwards, you have this rare ability that a lot of fighters out there don't have. You have the ability to be moving backwards and landing. You have this ability where you're able to be both offensive and defensive at the same time. How much of an advantage do you think that will be for you in this fight with her, coming forward style that she presents?
It's worked for me in the past, the type of Irish boxing, I guess someone once said to me before. But with her, I really don't want to move back, Unfortunately, I've been a distance fighter. Most of my fights have gone the distance. So if it does go the distance, I need to be, pushing the pace more, and I need to be coming forward and circling. So I really don't want to move back this fight. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But I want to try to come forward and make my angles and control the center of the ring and make her go back.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned your first two Invicta fights have both gone to decision. Is there any, I don't want to say pressure, but is there any more sense of urgency for you to get a finish in this one? Is this, a finish that you're hunting for in this fight, or are you just going to go out there, same as usual, just if the finish comes, great, and if it doesn't, that's okay too? Exactly
what you said in the latter. I'm not going to go out there looking for a finish. Obviously, it'd be nice to do it since I haven't done it yet. But if I go in there head hunting, I don't think it's going to happen. I just think it'll, make me overly excited and give her opportunity to catch me. So I think I need to stay calm and just fight my game like I usually fight. And if it does grind out 3 rounds, I just need to push a little bit harder each round so the judges see it in my favor.
Mm-hmm. Right now, Rose has a lot of attention coming her way, a lot of hype coming her way because of her first Invicta fight being a very dominant win, and then her second Invicta fight, the flying armbar. How much more do you think your stock will rise, not only if you beat her, but if you finish her? How much more would a finish move up your stock, or is just a win, as good as a finish? It doesn't really not matter, just as long as you get that W.
No, I think a finish would rise it exponentially, I guess, because not only because of her, the way she's finished her opponents, but because of her following as well. She has a really good following because of her boyfriend or whatnot. But really, should be because of her talent, because she's super talented. But yeah, and play because people I read comments too. People say, "Oh, that I'm the underdog because I haven't got a finish yet." Blah blah blah, which is fine, So yeah, if I was a finisher, I think everybody would be shocked. Even if I'm just a beater, I think people would be shocked too. So I'm ready and going to be there and ready to shock everybody.
Mm-hmm. Now you mentioned her boyfriend, Pat Barry. He just fought and was defeated by a teammate of yours, Sean Jordan. Is this a possible omen for you to come in and get the win?
It was nice that Sean won. I mean, and it was in a really good fashion. I guess he won in like a minute or whatnot. I don't remember. But in the first round he won, so it was cool. I don't think it broke their spirit or anything because, Rose has a good heart. But I was happy that he beat him, and I'm ready to go beat Rose. So we'll see what happens.
How do you defeat Rose on July 13th?
I will say unanimous decision. I'm not going to say I'm going to go and knock her out or anything like that.
Tecia, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
For sure. Make sure you guys all come out to the Amstar Casino and Hotel. If you're not in Kansas, watch us on TV, pay-per-view. Me and Rose will kick off the show. The first 3 fights will be free on the live stream if you want to watch that too. And just thank you for everybody and anybody who follows WMMA or me. It's going to be a great fight. And thank you to my sponsors, Brawl and Mall, Dogs Forever, Forever Dogs, Saves of MMA, Stuck Fightwear, the 90-Day Challenge, NakedTOnline.com, and Awakening Female Fighters. Thank you, everyone, for your support, and thank you for having me on your show and for the great questions.
Tecia, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck July 13th at Invicta FC 6 against Rose Namajunas.
Thank you. You have a great night, and God bless you.